Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to look at how to download and install Oracle Linux 7. Okay, but before we do that, we have to create a virtual machine, okay, where we're going to install the Oracle Linux 7. So first things first, you want to ensure that your VirtualBox is up and running. Mine is already up and running. And then the next thing you want to do is click on New, okay, and give it a name. So I'll type Oracle Linux 7. Okay, you can see the type is already changed to Linux, and then the version is Oracle 64 bits. Now, if you have a 64-bit machine and yours is showing 32 bits, okay, I'm going to put a link in the description box, okay, so that you can watch a video on how to change this to 64 bits. It means virtualization is not enabled on your machine. So a link is going to be down. I already did a video about this. The link is going to be down in the description, and it's going to be somewhere, you know, around this video. So click on it and watch it, then come back to this step. So next I want to do is to click on next. Okay, and for my RAM, it's recommended that you give at least half of your RAM. I have 8 gig. Okay, so half of my RAM is what I want to give. All right, and then I click next. And then I'm going to leave this at create a virtual disk, hard disk now, and click on create. I'll leave this at the default VDI, that's VirtualBox disk image, and then I'll click on next. And then I'll leave it at the default dynamically allocated and click on next. Okay, so at this point, I want to change the size. You can see we have just 12 gig, but I want to do 100 gig because we're going to install our Oracle database here. So it's fine to have some space, and I'll click create. You can see our Oracle Linux 7 virtual machine has been created. So the next thing we have to do is to configure some settings before we eventually head off to downloading and installing the Oracle Linux 7. So the first thing you want to do is to ensure that your Oracle Linux 7 is selected, and then click on settings. Now the first settings we're going to configure is in the Generals tab. Okay, now in the Generals tab, just click on Advanced. And then for this shared clipboard, it's disabled. So click on drop down list and then change to bidirectional. Also for drag and drop, click on the drop down list and choose bidirectional. Now the reason why we are doing this is to enable us, copy files, from your host machine to your guest machine, which is in this case your VirtualBox. Okay, so that's done. And then the next one we want to take care of is the system. Okay, for the mouse pointing device, choose USB tablet. And then the next settings you want to take care of is your network. And then instead of NAT, okay, choose bridged adapter. This will enable your network adapter to use whatever network facility you are using on your host machine. Okay, so once this is done, just go ahead and click OK. Now we have to download. For our next step, we have to download the Oracle Linux 7. So to download Oracle Linux 7, open your browser. Open your browser and then type download Oracle 7 and enter. Now you want to look out for a link known as e-delivery, edelivery.com. Okay, on this particular link, you can get everything relating to your Oracle database, both your Oracle Linux and a couple of other Oracle software. So go ahead and click on it. And then the next thing you want to do is to sign in. If you don't have an account, please click on create account and supply the details contained in the form and just submit. I need you to be informed that this is a single sign-on account that you are creating. Now, a single sign-on account enables you to sign into all of Oracle's web platforms, okay, with just one account. So I already have a single sign-on account. I'll just go ahead and type my email, okay, let me pray that godgifts@gmail.com. And then put in my password and enter. Okay, so on the search page, just type Oracle Linux. And then choose the first result that showed up on the screen. Now you can observe that from the list we have a whole lot of newer versions: 8.5, 8.4, 8.3, 8.2, 8.1, and all whatnot. Okay, whichever version you want to choose is perfectly fine, is perfectly okay. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and choose Oracle Linux 7.6. Okay, so after clicking, go to view items and then click on continue. Okay, so when you get to this page, click on this drop-down list and choose the platform x86 64-bit. And click continue. Okay, you need to accept the terms and condition. Accept and then click on continue. Just go ahead and close this. Now, you have quite a whole lot of files here showing up. You don't need to download all of these, okay? You don't need to download all of these. All you need to do is to choose the one that is Oracle Linux Release 7 Update 6 for x86 64-bit, okay? Now, it's an ISO file, so you right-click and then save link as. Once you do this, it will start downloading. Now, because I've already downloaded it on my system, I won't download. But if you want to download it, just go ahead and click on save link as, and it will take a while. The file size is quite large, about 4.3 gig. So I'll see you when you're done downloading. Okay, so now that you've downloaded the ISO image, you want to go back to your settings. Click on it and then go to storage this time. And then click this plus sign. And then click on add. Now go to the destination where you downloaded the ISO image, okay? My own case is actually in my installations folder, so I'll just click on it and then say open. I want to ensure that it's selected, and then I'll click on choose and say okay, Now to begin installation, I'll just click on start. Okay, so on this page, okay, we don't need to test the media because we are not installing from a CD-ROM drive. Okay, we'll just use our arrow key and say install Oracle Linux 7.6 and enter. And wait for all of the configuration files to load up and bring us to the installation page. You can see it's running some checks. So we have to allow it to finish these checks before the installation proper will begin. Okay, so you can see we are at the welcome to Oracle Linux 7.6 screen. Okay, so for a language selection, you want to leave it at default English and click on continue. And then choose your time zone. Click on this to choose your time zone. So I'm in Africa, Nigeria precisely. Okay, so I'll choose Lagos. And then click on done. You can leave the keyboard at default English US. Okay, now click on installation source. Okay, you can see that it's auto detected. The installation media is auto detected. Click on done. Okay, and then for software selection, click on it. Don't leave it at minimal, just click on it. And then choose server with GUI. And then come over here to the right for add-ons. Then scroll down. Scroll down and choose development tools and compatibility libraries. Okay, this will install all the libraries that will enable you to do a smooth installation of your Oracle database. Remember, this Oracle Linux was specifically tailored for the Oracle database installation. Okay, so once you are done, click on done. And then click on installation destination. Just to be sure that this our 100 gigabytes that we assigned when we're creating the virtual machine, is selected, and then click on done. Okay, so it's done checking. The next thing you want to do is to click on network and host name. Okay. And then come here first and change the host name. So for the host name, I'll type test DB. That's short form for test database, because we're going to be using this operating system to install our Oracle database. So I'll do testdb.com and then click on apply. You can see current host name is testdb.com. And then I'll click on configure. On the generals tab, I'll choose automatically connect to this network when it is available. Click on save. You can see by default, after configuration, the network adapter is on and we can see our IP address. Okay, so I'll click on done. And then for our security policy, click on it and then turn it off, because for now we are not applying any. So I'll click on done and then I'll click begin installation. Now we have to set the root password and then create another user. So I'll click on root password and then type the root password. So I'll click on done, and then I'll create a new user. Full name, Timmy Pray God Gift. And then you can observe that the moment I finish typing my full name, the operating system created a username with the first letter of my name and then my entire surname. So the next thing I want to do is to make this user administrator. And then I'll type the password. And click on done. Now you can see the installation process have started. Okay, so we have to wait for all of these packages to be installed. Total, we have about 1,440 packages. We have to wait for all of these packages to be installed before we finish configuration. So from this point, I'm going to pause this video until the installation is complete, and then I'll come back and continue the process. Thank you. Okay, so we can see that the installation is complete. Oracle Linux is now successfully installed and ready for you to use. Go ahead and reboot to start using it. So we'll just click on reboot. And then wait for the machine to come up again. So I'll have to pause this video until we get to the login screen. Okay, so we're here at this screen. So the next thing we want to do is to click on this license information and then click on accept, click on done, and say finish configuration. As usual, the machine will reboot. So let me pause this recording again until we get to the login screen. Okay, so we're at the login screen. I'm just going to click on my username to log in, or if you don't want to log in with your username, you can click not listed, and then it will give you the option to type the username as root. That's if you want to log in as a root user, and then type the password. So I'll just go ahead and click my username and type my password. And enter. Okay, so we're here at the welcome screen. We'll leave the language as English and then click on next. And then we can also leave the typing, that's for your keyboard at the default, and then click on next. And then for these location services under your privacy, turn it off. Click on next. Connect your online accounts. If this is your work machine, you want to keep your private life, you want to keep your social life private to you. So just skip and then start using Oracle Linux Server. Okay, so usually the first time you get to log in after installation, you find this screen. Okay, I don't need it, so I'll just close it. And then this is your Oracle Linux. So in our next video, I'm going to show you how to install guest additions. Okay, so if you find this video interesting, kindly like it, share it, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell icon so you don't miss out whenever I upload another video. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.